Have you ever wondered how the world's top entrepreneurs manage to thrive on just 5 to 6 hours of sleep per night, while the average adult needs 7 to 9 hours for optimal performance? In this video, I'm going to unveil exactly how they do it. I'm Lewis. I've been a personal trainer for nearly 10 years, working with over 1,000 plus clients. For my online coaching, I ensure CEOs and entrepreneurs grow their business, optimizing health and performance without the time sacrifices, restrictive diet, or missing out on precious family time. On YouTube, I help you understand the key fundamentals to do it yourself. And make sure to stick around to the end of the video and I'll give you a free bonus tip to sleep deeper and better to perform more optimally. So sleep deprivation can significantly impair decision-making in entrepreneurship. Research indicates that entrepreneurs who lack sleep analyze business opportunities differently than those who are well rested. Sleep deprivation distorts the manner in which people process risk, which can then lead to a tendency to chase high levels of risk and engage in service-level processing of key opportunities, which will then potentially result in poor decision-making and increase the likelihood of not the best behavior, as well as sleep-deprived strategic decision-makers may value short-term outcomes over long-term ones, which could be more beneficial, leading to potential financial losses. That means that prioritizing sufficient sleep is crucial for maintaining optimal cognitive function and making informed, rational decisions, especially in entrepreneurial context if you're someone running your own business. I had a client a few years ago who was a bit of a go-getter CEO, again running his business, running the show, hitting a wall when it came to his sleep. Late nights, early mornings, and a whole lot of stress were wrecking his sleep game. And then we started working together. He reached out and we decided it was time for a bit of a sleep revolution and make sure that he was optimizing his sleep in some way, shape or form. So what we did is we put together a game plan that made sure his sleep was his main priority on his path to success. Now we knew something was up with his sleep, but breaking through the habit of burning through the midnight oil was something which he did struggle with quite a bit. The whole hustle mentality had him convinced that success meant sacrificing his sleep. He needed to stay up late to make sure that he was finishing certain projects, organizing the team, and making sure that his business was set up the next day and, as the weeks went on, for success. He, like many high-flying CEOs or business owners, he thought that sacrificing sleep was the cost of admission to the success club. Pressure, the deadlines, it all piled up, and a good old little bit of good quality sleep took a backseat. And he'd been doing this for well over 10 to 15 years. So you can imagine someone who would just hit 40, how much his sleep had actually been deprived and God knows how many years it had taken off his life. But fast forward and he was running on empty a little bit by this point. His focus was slipping, decision making was a little bit shaky day to day, and he was chugging coffee like it was going out of style. Yeah, the business was doing really well, but he was dancing on the edge of burnout and constantly felt tired and drained every single day. Recognizing that sleep was something which he really did need to get a hold of, we got to work. We crafted a little bit of a sleeping blueprint that was tailor-made for him. So we tweaked his bedtime routine a little bit, setting up a sleep-friendly environment and getting a handle on his stress. We also made sure that we were tracking his sleep using a sleep tracker. So I knew exactly how many good hours sleep he was getting each night and knew what areas weren't going so well so we could change and iterate when and if needs be. And just like everything, my client dove into this head first. We set a strict bedtime, introduced some pre-sleep rituals, and created a tech-free zone in his bedroom so he wasn't sat up on his phone, whether that was doing more work or communicating with other people. He even started throwing in some mindfulness practices to calm the pre-sleep chaos. We also tracked his sleep, as I mentioned before, making sure that his sleep quality was meticulous through his Apple Watch, which gave him and me some key insights. And then guess what? His sleep did a little bit of a 180. He was waking up ready to take on the next day, clear-headed and refreshed. He wasn't anymore feeling really tired, drained, and the deprivation of his bed. Now he's someone who is pretty meticulous about his sleep, and it's something where he really nails down every single day, every single week. If he doesn't, he can feel it the next day. And it makes me think, and he said this before as well, how did he get through so many years of not optimizing his sleep? It's so common for people to do, especially if you are someone running your business. You feel like you need to get next task done, and usually it's staying up late, having those nights where you're getting less than 6 hours sleep. This also meant that positive vibes of himself spilled over into his work and his team, noticed a change as well, and I'm referring to his employees here. He proved that optimizing sleep isn't just a luxury for people, it's a blueprint for especially CEOs for sustainable success. And as his coach, seeing him transform from a sleep-deprived warrior to a well-rested powerhouse, well, that's what I think is going to be something which is going to massively change his health, performance, and just his overall life. All right, so let's get into 5 tips for you to do to improve your sleep. So number 1 is to disconnect from devices. Constant use of smartphones and other devices can disrupt your sleeping patterns, leading to poor quality sleep. As we all know, excessive screen time before bed can interfere with the body's natural sleep-wake cycle, making it difficult to fall asleep and stay asleep. So a useful tip is to keep your smartphone, for example, your iPhone's charger, plugged in another room and switch it off to minimize the exposure to content before bed. 2, manage late night thoughts. Entrepreneurs, business owners, and just a lot of people in general often struggle with late night thoughts and ideas, making it challenging to relax and fall asleep. So persistent late night thoughts can lead to difficulty in winding down, resulting in reduced sleep quality and duration, which was something which my client definitely struggled with. So find a way to record last minute thoughts and ideas to ease the mind before bedtime, allowing for better sleep relaxation and improved sleep quality. Number 3 is to create positive sleep routines. Disrupted sleep routines, especially during business travel, can lead to poor sleep quality and duration. And as we all know, poor sleep during business travel can result in decreased cognitive function, impacting entrepreneurs' ability to perform effectively. So we want to establish positive sleep routines and minimize screen time again to improve the rest and optimize productivity, especially during business travel, because as we know, you're probably staying in a hotel or somewhere different than home, and it's always even more difficult to sleep when you're somewhere foreign as well. So we need to optimize everything we can. Number 4 is to prioritize exposure to natural sunlight. So lack of exposure to natural sunlight can disrupt body's circadian rhythm, affecting sleep quality and overall well-being. Insufficient exposure to natural sunlight can lead to decreased cognitive function, as I mentioned before, and disrupted sleep patterns, impacting on an entrepreneur's ability to perform optimally day to day. So we want to ensure exposure to natural sunlight, which can be difficult if you live in the UK, but early in the day, especially to help anchor the circadian rhythm and promoting better sleep and overall well-being. I know if you're someone who listens to a lot of podcasts and you've been on YouTube, you've probably heard of Andrew Huberman, who is a massive advocate of this, getting sunlight in the eyes early on in the day and a few hours before bed at sunset as well. And number 5 is just to ease up on yourself a little bit. As we all know, if you're someone who runs a business, if you're an entrepreneur, you can often experience unnecessary stress and self-criticism relating to sleep patterns, impacting your overall mental well-being. Unnecessary stress and self-criticism can exacerbate sleep issues a little bit, leading to decreased function again and overall well-being. So we just want to try and avoid unnecessary self-criticism a little bit related to sleep patterns to promote better mental well-being and improved quality sleep. If you're having one of those nights where your mind is racing and you just cannot sleep, it's fine. The more you are going to struggle to get to sleep. And the bonus tip, as I mentioned with my client earlier, is to track your sleep quality. I get all of my clients to do this. Use an Apple Watch, Fitbit, or a Ring, or a Whoop band. You'll get loads of valuable insights, as well as which areas you need to improve, and to be able to see how many hours of deep or REM sleep you actually get per night. And then when you actually do have a really good night's sleep, think, what did you do leading up to that so that you could repeat those habits? This is why with all of my clients, I follow my CEO Health and Performance Blueprint 5-step system, which combines all 5 of the key areas. Head to the link in the description to watch the short video of exactly how I use this with my clients to get amazing results. Or alternatively, again, head to the link in the description to take my CEO Health and Performance Assessment Scorecard, which will assess key areas in regards to your health and performance, which areas you can improve and which areas are going